Oh, we're a ghost again. OBS, why do you do this to me? Hello and welcome to Kedrick Farms. We're gonna have to fix our camera every stream, it looks like. I have no idea why it keeps doing this. There we go. How is everyone doing today? We've got a little bit different of a stream today. I don't know if it's going to appeal to nearly as many people. However, I'm looking forward to diving in and doing a little bit of modding. And this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. Black Sheep Modding released this mower mod a while back, and I absolutely love it. So I thought we would embarrass ourselves on a live stream and see if we can make it flex with the terrain. We've got Polycount Taz in the chat. Good to see you, man. Scott George, good to see you as always. Ted Lampert, good to see you. Julian's in here. How you doing, sir? Logan, good to see you. Waylon Hobbs and Waylon Timlick, good to see you guys. Ronator, howdy and welcome to the stream. Jason. So today, let's see if I can figure out how we're going to do this. I need to move some monitors around. Coding on stream is not something I've done before. So let's see if I can figure out how to do this. There we go. We've got a screen. I can pull this window over onto said screen. Good deal. Maybe we'll make it a little bit bigger. And we've got Permas modding in here as well. Yeah, between Permas and Taz, maybe you guys can tell me what I'm doing wrong if I can't figure this out. So, Godly Devil, hey, how you doing? And welcome to the stream. Logan, I have been to Canada. I used to work in Canada, actually, for quite a while. So I was driving up to Canada every other week for better part of a year. Binks, welcome to the stream. Braden, welcome to the stream. All right, so today we are going to take this wonderful HX20 mod that Black Sheep Modding released. Oh man, this has been a while ago, later to 2020. And we're going to attempt to make the wings on this thing flex up and down when you're driving with it. I love this mower, but once you unfold it, it's just this flat mower that doesn't really move with the terrain very well. And for me, we had one of these on the farm when I farmed, and we used to use, maybe not this exact model, but Batwing mower, and we used to use it to do ditches and stuff. And so the wings are designed to kind of move up and down a bit with the terrain. So we're gonna see how this works out today. Neil, welcome to the stream. Good to see ya. All right. So without further ado, I've got this all in a mod folder already, so we're gonna make sure we're pointing to our tutorial mods folder here, and we're gonna start off by getting a save game set up that we can actually jump in and work on this mod. And so I want to test it. I want to show you guys, I want to show myself, I want to show you guys how it works today and try it out, and then we'll jump into Giants Editor and see if we can pick apart the mod a bit. All right. Do I have any empty save games? Of course not. Let's see here. One of these is bound to be a game I can delete. There we go. This was a tutorial map. Actually, I don't know. Indecision. All right, we'll delete the Du Bois one. Where'd it go? I've lost it already. There we go. No, I don't want to do that. I want to delete it. Delete. Yes. This is the problem with doing content creation is I'm always out of save slots here. We'll just use Ravenport. My game sound seems a little bit loud here. We'll get into the game and turn off the music. Now, I don't necessarily want all of this stuff turned on when I'm doing modding. I like to have just kind of the basics, which is store deliveries, so I can put things where I want them. My workshop mods, and the mod I'm gonna be working on. This is kind of my default mod list here, so HUD toggle's always nice. And easy dev tools is the must-have. All right, I think we've got the core ones. We can always grab them next time in if we're missing something. Devin, welcome to the chat. Good to see you, man. We're gonna hopefully get into some code here pretty quick into Giants Editor. I'm hoping this isn't going to be overly difficult. I kind of opened the mod up and took a look at it. I think I know why it doesn't work the way that I would want it to work, but I've never actually really done this before. I played around with it a long time ago when the mod first came out, but my modding skill set was not as good as it is now back then. So we're going to come over here. I'm looking for a grass field. There we go. Field 20 is a grass field. We're going to buy field 20, and we're going to go set up down there for our testing purposes. Yeah, we got some terrain here we can test on the side of it as well. So first step, let's get our mod purchased so that we can take a look at it. Mowers, HX20. Oh, it's got all kinds of options. I don't think we need to change anything, so let's just go ahead and get this bought, and we'll get a tractor of some kind. We are using pretty much all base game type stuff outside of the mod that we're testing, just to cut down on any issues with, you know, introducing a mod conflict or something. Anytime you're trying to test something out for the first time, you want to remove as many variables as possible. And so we've got this mower here. You can see it unfolds. It looks great. We turn it on. It's mowing. Our field apparently isn't in a state that can be mowed, so let's... What field is this? Field 20? Let's see if we can fix that. Grass. There it is. Growth state 4. Checkbox. There we go. So this looks good. It works good. We're going to turn it off for a second here, though. And where we run into the problems with this mod is I would expect it to, you know, bend with the terrain here, but you can see it's not really bending or moving or flexing in any way as we round off on these corners. In fact, if we come all the way over here, maybe I can get it lined up on the side of this cliff, but you can see it doesn't bend. It just stays rigid. So that's what we're going to try and resolve today. So let's just leave this here. We're going to save our game since we've got our mod all set up and we found ourselves a nice cliff to test this on. And we're going to jump out and look at some code. Nagi, welcome to the stream, man. Taz, yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I think they're all part of the same component. So first things first, we need to get into our mod folder here. So I've got our mod directory. Oh, I was actually in there. So FS19 mods, tutorial mods, and we're going to find that mower. So we're going to extract this mower so we can work on it. Just like that. We're going to change this into detail mode so I can see what we're doing. And to start with, we're going to do two things. We're going to open it up in Giants Editor, and I'm going to get the XML for the mod opened up here as well, since we're going to need to look at that in a moment. So taking a look at this, hopefully that's clear enough to see. I know the resolution for modding is going to be probably a little bit of a problem as I've shrunk part of this window down. But if we look here, we've got the main mower here. Let's see if I can zoom the camera in a bit on the actual model. And so right out of the gate, what concerns me is that everything for the mower here seems to be part of this main component here. In fact, I can see here that the left and right parts of the wings are part of this main component. And my understanding of how making things flex with the terrain and follow the physics in Farm Sim is that these are going to need to be separate components. So we're going to need to move these outside of the mod, which is going to get a little bit tricky because they're right in the middle here, and we don't want to mess up all of our node IDs as we move things around. So we'll have to think about that here. Let's see. The other, if we click through the rest of these components, it looks like we do have some kind of a collision probably. This is a rigid body. So this is a collision component here outside of the main component. I'm guessing these are, let me grab one of these here. I'm guessing these don't actually exist. These are just empty collisions. And so I'm still going to need these other ones to move up and down here. And then we've got a front hitch, and we've got a bunch of components for the chains, it looks like. I'm curious if these are used or not. So let's pop open the XML here and talk a little bit about components, because this looks like I'm going to have to do some reordering in the mod. But each one of these items here at the top level of the scene graph, these components that you see, are what gets referenced here. And then you, my high level understanding here is that these joints are where these components are able to, you're able to set up these joints where things will bend and move in relation to each other. So we're going to have to see what we can do with these. What I'm curious about is all these chain components and if they're actually referenced anywhere in this file. So we've got i3D mappings down here for everything, it looks like. And so if I come back into here, I'm going to bring my attributes window over here so that it's easier to be seen. I'm going to get rid of my terrain editing window because we don't need it. I probably won't need user attributes on that side for now. And so I could see this chain component has an index path of 11. So we're going to go ahead and jump back into our XML here and see if we can find anything that references 11, which we don't, which is interesting. So that, oh, because it's a component though, that means it would be referenced right here. Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so that's where we're at here, is all of these items here, and the joints are what are referencing those chain components as far as moving them and the physics, but I'm kind of curious why they're there in the first place if they're not really being referenced anywhere else. Component joint indexes. Index 3. Apologies, I'm going to just orient myself here real quick. I mean, I don't see anything that's going down that far yet. Joint indexes, joint indexes. I'm kind of curious what happens if I just remove them, to be honest. Component 11 is node 00208. So 0208. 0, 2, 0, 8. Yeah, it looks like all of the chains got moved inside of the mod at some point. And so outside of having these components out here, I don't know that they're actually doing anything for me. Chain components used for chains to be moving free, but they're not referenced by anything. Like, I would expect them to actually be referenced by something if they were in use in any way. So I guess one problem at a time. The first problem is that we just have these two collisions out here, but they don't actually represent the model themselves. And so we're gonna see if we can start out by making some edits and getting the wings to flex to start with, and then we'll worry about chains and such. So the first thing that we're gonna do is find those two wings. So we got a left and a right wing right now, and I don't want to just move these out to the top level because that's going to screw up all of the ordering of my indexes, but I do need to pull these out of here. And so I think what I can do, if I click up here and hit create, is we're going to just create an empty transform group, and we're going to just drag that up into this area, and we're going to use it as like a placeholder if I can. I can't seem to get it up there though. Where did I drop that? Come on. It won't scroll up for me. Let's make this window a little taller for a moment and drop this right up in here. And how do oops, what did I just do? I think if I use the middle mouse button, I can reorder this a little bit. There we go. And then if I drag this out here, like so. What is going on? Why won't this drag right? All right, drag it up here. There we go. And then if I just drop this out, delete, that should replace that. And then I would just need to make this thing a rigid body, or let it be dynamic. And I'm wondering if this is gonna work. Dum dum dum. I would need to change everything that was pointing to this. So everything that was pointing to 08 is now going to point to 1. That's what we're going to try. I think this is going to be that easy. Let's see. So now this component here is our new component. I'm looking to change everything that was pointing to 08 is going to point to 1. So before I start doing an actual replace, I want to look at all these places. So I can't just swap it out for 1 dash. That'll break the code here. Let me just see how many spots are pointing to this. So what I'm really looking for is all the places that point to 08 dash are going to point to 10. Let's do that. That looks safe to do. And then let's see if there's still any places that point to 08. This is going to point to... Can I point it to just 1? Would I do 1 with the caret? I've never done that. 1 with the 0 with the caret. Looks like 1 with the caret. Search, find and find. Oops, replace, I mean. Where's my replace? I think this is safe. I think this is what I want to do. Boom. All right, let's see if this works. So part of modding is a lot of making a change and then jumping into the game to see if you broke the world. We're going to launch this back up. Now, there's a way to reload a mod without having to relaunch the game. I just forget what that is. Easiest way to check for that would be to open the i3D in Notepad and search for the term skin in i3D. We'll have to check that in just a second. Where's my game? I'm really curious to see if I broke the world. Hey, Jax Mods, welcome to the stream. We are learning how to tear apart a mod on the fly. All right, so our mod is still in one piece. That's encouraging. Does it fold? Hey, it still folds up and down. So we haven't broke anything. Let's see if we can flex. We still aren't flexing our wing. So at least I know that we've not broken anything. GS reload vehicle and console. That will be useful there. We're gonna try that out. So I'm excited that we've gotten to the point where we have not broke anything, although I kind of expected to break something. So let me look in my mod folder. Oh, and of course we did the one thing that we shouldn't do, which is we forgot to delete the zip file. So I would be willing to bet FarmSim is still using the zipped version of this mod. F11? What does F11? F11 has a reload vehicle option built into it. Is that true? That would really be life-changing. All right, no more zipped version of the mod. Let's try this one more time, folks. Loading, loading. Oh, there we go. We had the wrong window open. You'll need to give rotation angle for wings and code folding. So folding already existed. We just swapped it out with the collision object that was already there. Oh, look at that. So that looks different. We've got some objects that we did not grab here, but if I fold this back up. All right, so we have full-on broken the left wing, which is more what I would expect by making a random change like that. I'm encouraged that the wing is there at all, but I see that we've got a bunch of chains and other things that don't seem to be appropriately associated with the mod anymore. I'm noticing our PTO isn't hooked up right anymore. So we've got some more work to do here in the XML file. So let's take a look here. So far all we've done is made this component now represent the folding element that we had before, which is, where's my, there we go. So component 2 went from being, I'm going to work on just the left wing right now so I can always compare back to the right wing. So before we had just a collision component. Now we've got a component with lots of stuff in it. And this component here is component 2, which would be this. I'm guessing this rotation limit is how much it's allowed to flex on that joint. So I'm going to change that to 20 just to see how that works out. And for folding, it wasn't folding up either. So let's see where the folding animation is. These are work areas, foldable. Animation, lower animation. All right, let's check for that animation. And we've got parts named lower animation 0 through 4 and component 3. What is component 3? Component 3 is something in the main body, probably not what I'm looking for. Lower animation 0. Okay, so we've got 0 through 3 are our animation points. I'm not seeing... Oh, this is our new component here. So lower animation 1 would be 110. And so it's always kind of fun to track things down here. So 110. So that's moving that thing on the back. But what's moving my actual wing? Where would right vis had been? So this component moves automatically right now. So 09 is correctly moving. So let's look and see where 09 is referenced. That would be moving part 11, moving part 10, lots of moving parts. I have a component. I have a wheel. I have some lights. I have a ground reference node. I have work areas. Lots of work areas. I don't know what auxiliary is. And then I have a folding part. So what is folding part 3? Folding part 3, 4, and 5. 5 looks like it would be the actual wing itself. So let's see where those are referenced. It'd almost be easier if we didn't have i3D mappings in this file, I think. Guess wings fold by nodes, not by component joints. That's very possible here. It does look like that's what's going on here, looking at it. So I've got... these are not the animations. Where'd my animation go? Right here. Oh, here we go. Folding. We have a folding animation right here. I'm looking at the wrong animation as part of my problem. So all of these items... That's a lot of items are getting folded by each individual item, which really not how I would want to do this now that I've moved the whole component out. I should be able to just move this by the component joint, I would think. Oh, you guys aren't seeing the code, my bad. Thank you for the reminder. Let's try and flip this over... like this. There we go. Is that better? Apologies. I'm over here rambling to myself and you guys can't see a thing. So we've got this folding animation here and it's moving literally every single part that was needing to be moved when things folded up. This feels like a bit of overkill because now that I've moved the component out so that it can flex, I don't really need to do all of this. I'm gonna make a bit of a mess here, and I'm tempted to just completely comment out this entire section and see what happens. Everything except for the component joints. So if I do it like this, Control K, I can always uncomment this later. And now we have a component joint index 1 and 2. And we need to rotate these. And so I think based on seeing these numbers, I don't know if left or right, we're going to try 81 degrees here. See what happens. Now, I believe I was instructed that I could reload a vehicle here somewhere in the F11 tool. Maybe on the vehicle. Reload vehicle. Select to reload only or reload and reset to original. Okay. What's that do? Perfect. And everything looks all wonky still. And I can't seem to fold either side up now, so at least I know that the F11 tool is working because I've commented out all the folding animations. Perfect. So let's do this. I meant to do this to both sides and see if it works. F11, reload. Boom. Oh, something's happening. I don't know what's happening, but something was happening. All right, we're making progress. Yeah, Polycount, I've got a cedar that has flexing wings right now that I took a look at, and they did something with this. I'm trying to figure out if I set up my component that I moved out incorrectly here. Let's see here. So Polycount's got me with a mod here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this mod real quick. If the site will let me download, go. It's always handy to have a piece of code to reference. There we go. And let me just extract this real quick so we can look at the i3D file. Here we go. All right, so we've got, looks like a side mower here. With two different components. And then if we come into the XML file, we've got the components listed, and then we've got a joint listed here that also has a rotation limit here on, which is, I assume, going to determine how much it's allowed to flex on that joint. And then if we come down here, when we fold it, it looks like we've got these two nodes. We do the rotation. So this is the lowering and this is the raising part. 0 to 2.1, 2.1 to 3. Okay. I think I'm following this so far. I'm just looking to see what sheet is 0001, 01, and thrust. 05. 0, 0, 1. And thrust was something else. Where'd thrust go? 0, 5, 0, 0, 5, 0. Oh, okay. You've got your arm here. Got it. I've lost my chat. Apologies. Reading code. All right. So this looks like this will fold down and then it's got some level of flex to it, which makes sense to me. And so this is this is the part I'm trying to replicate here right now, is that we've got these two components and the joint, which is going to allow some level of rotation. And I need my folding animations to start working here. So we've got, where did my animations go? Right here. And so I think this is the part that I need to check on in our other mod here. So what I can do is move this to the other view so I have it to reference. And kind of try to do this split screen thing. It might be easier if I did this mode. Holy buckets, that's crazy horrible. Let's try this mode. And I definitely do not need to be a ginormous head. So 1 second here. Can I just, oops. Can I just shrink? Oh no, that's the wrong one too. There's too many keyboard commands. Here we go. We're no longer a giant head. All right, so what do we got here? We've got all kinds of crazy sauce. These are the components we're looking for. You guys can see my whole screen now, so we can jump into this. Brent, appreciate the sub there, man. So I've got a component. And now I need to get my joints working. So first joint here is component 1 in this list is the main body. So component 2 is one of my wings. I don't actually know which wing. It would be my left wing that we're trying to work on. And what is node for component 1? Well, let's jump down here. Component 1 is actually my left wing. Is that correct? Wouldn't I need to... That doesn't seem right. I shouldn't be referencing... Shouldn't I be referencing not the left wing here, but the right wing? No, that's right. That's right. Look for a component joint part. This one right here. Or let's just look for joint. Probably easier. Like this is what I would expect it to be doing. I don't need an attacher joint. There it is, component joint. Moving tools. Update, nude, add joints in XML. Main body. Moving parts, moving tools. Under cylindered. Component joint index. Yeah, that's part of the modding thing, is like it's always interesting to try and figure it out. So folding 6, this should be my left wing. I've got a component joint listed for it, which is good. Moving tool 00. Let's just double check that this is pointing to our left wing stuff. Not so much. Moving tools, folding 6. Folding 6. So this is the left wing, so that is the one that we're looking for. Cool, so I've got a joint. It should be the right joint. I've got various components lifted in here. I have a power takeoff listed here, so our power takeoff isn't lining up right now. We've got input node 0, detach node 0. You know, what I wonder if I did is, did I update all of these to the wrong nodes? Or did I update the wrong nodes, I mean? We did 08 when we were updating things in here. Let's back up and make sure that our previous step was actually correct. That was 08. This is 09. So we should have everything that pointed to 08 should now be pointing to 1. I don't see any 08s. I see lots of 1s. All right. And if we come in here to the game, we're still not folding, but something's moving under here. If we can turn on and see our collisions, I'm kind of curious. So it looks like my right wing is trying to fold up and down, but it's trying to go down into the ground rather than up. So that tells me I've definitely got my rotations wrong on our joints. Or not our joints, on our animation. So these one here probably needs to go negative 81. No, stop saving the game, please. Reload vehicle. There we go. So now if I try to fold this up, it raises. It's not so much folding, but it did raise up. We've definitely broken something. All right, let's go back out here for a second and test and check one more thing in here. I swear we updated our nodes properly, but let's double check here. One thing it does need to do is be a rigid body. We do have this set. Let me check these settings against polycounts mod here. And so we've got the base component, and then we've got the other one. And here my transformed stuff's over here. We're a rigid body. We probably need to update the collision mask on our mod as well. I didn't pay any attention to that. Yeah, we don't have appropriate collision mask defined here, so that's maybe part of the problem. The other part of the problem is probably that I haven't saved our i3D file yet. Now that we've saved our i3D file and all of the changes that we've been making in there, let's see if this actually does something. All right, file saved. Our PTO is somewhere way back there in Never Never Land, but now we're actually rotating our wings. So we've made progress. Note to self: save the game. Save the files when you make changes to them. So something is rotating on the wrong axis or the wrong way that the wing there is trying to rotate down. I'm probably rotating on the wrong point. So let's take a look here. I think I know what's causing the problem there. And so if I look at this mod, I've got the left wing rotating now, but it's rotating around the center point rather than at this point over here. Do I have a node here that represents the point here that I want to rotate around? I mean, I guess this point should actually work. This would be the 1.0 index path. And so we're both rotating the wrong way and rotating from some point that doesn't make any sense. So these are likely inverted. So if I switch these around and then reload in the game again, I wonder if this will at least attempt to rotate the right way. All right, they are rotating the right way now. They're just rotating around the wrong point. So it's like I'm rotating here on some point on the wing. If I look at this, yeah, I'm rotating around this point right here. That's interesting. Okay, let's see if we can figure out what point that is and rotate around something differently. Billy Jr., tips for a new modder. Don't give up. It's not as easy as it looks sometimes, and that's part of why I'm doing this live, is to make sure it looks really, really hard. We're getting there, though. Slowly understanding what all of these different things mean. It's funny is, looking at the XML for a mod, it's kind of just a big black box. So need to figure out, what all these things mean and how they tie together. And there's not a lot of documentation. So the best way to do it is to just look at the mod and try to figure it out. So this is the joint that we're pivoting on right now. Yeah, 82 Studio makes it look easy, that's for sure. He's been doing this a lot longer than I have. And there we go. Component 1, this is the node that we're rotating on, is 1,7. What is 1,7? 1,7 is way out here on the wing. Why would we be rotating on that? Hang on. Okay, so, well, at least now we know. What else is this component used for in this file? It's used for this joint, and that's it. Okay. So why can't we just use 1 dash? Can I just use this instead? What happens if I update this? Bam. It's that easy sometimes. That's the hope. F11. Reload vehicle. Zoom back out. Push X. And... okay, it's rotating on the right part. I'm going the wrong way. We're getting there. I feel confident. We're going to change this one number and it's going to work. Then everything's going to be easy from here. What number was I changing? In the folding animation. Here we go. I think it's like this instead. I'm so glad that there's a reload vehicle in the F11 tools. This is so much easier than relaunching the game for sure. Come on, fold, fold, fold. I must be doing the wrong access. You can see here, if I pull forward a bit, I guess I can turn off all the crazy wireframes for a second. The right hand is doing something weird, and that's because I don't have all the animations set up right. The left hand was trying to rotate, and now it's not. So we're still missing something. We were pivoting better on the other node. Maybe this node's pointed in a different direction. Let's see, we've got this. Where's my transform? I wonder what happens if maybe instead of doing it on the node, we just bring this over here. Get this lined up here. Maybe we put that back on that since that was working fine. It was component 1 up here on the top, right? That was 1-7. Let's try that. Oh wait, we're about to do it again. Save the file. Reload our vehicle. Fold. It's trying. It's, I can see that some of the components are moving up and some of them aren't, so I'm wondering if some of these things that I've got connected to it are preventing the fold. Because I can see the, like the half moon there on the item that's pivoting, so something's folding up here. It's just not able to completely fold the wing. So you can see this, it's hard to see, I guess, the... Can I point? Right here, this black half moon is definitely rotating in the correct way when we fold and unfold, but the wing just doesn't come with it. It moves just a smidge and then gets stuck on something, so it might be that we've got a few things here left that we need to address with the PTOs and other items like that that aren't in the appropriate spots yet. So let's jump back out here and see what we can do to figure that out. We've got all this other stuff in the folding animation that some of it was probably important is what I'm wondering now. So let's check out some of these things. So I'm gonna put some of these back in because I don't know what they do, and that's usually when you run into problems. Just get some WD-40. There you go, Taz. All right, let's see if this is gonna cut it. I feel like we're close. We've definitely got some stuff that's moving here. I think these are, let me see which side are the right wings. As folding 8 is a left wing. So all of those parts are for the left. So all the negative 88s are the left wing. So let's put the right wing back for a moment. So all of the non-negative ones I expect would be right wing. So if I come and look at folding 78, for example, that is the right wing. All right, let's see how this works out. So we're gonna save that update, and I bet this will let our right wing start working again. Reload vehicle, go. Let's see it fold. Ooh. That's cool. That was really cool. Okay. Not what I expected to happen, but for some reason it tried to pivot forward. That's interesting how the collision on the other side is just dangling now. I'm pretty sure that's something that I broke at some point. Curious why it rotated forward there. I want to see that happen again. Maybe it'll give me a clue. We're gonna need some new parts here. All right, my PTO's not hooked up now either, and that's interesting. So it's folding up now. It's just folding up on a different axis. Something got tweaked. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. Lamborghini mower. I'm wondering if I moved this joint too far in. If we just pulled this back this way a smidge, is that going to have any effect on the situation at all? Reload vehicle. Wow, it did have an effect. We're definitely rotating in an awkward direction. I would expect those two things to be attached to each other, though. So we're definitely using the wrong joint here. Let's look at something. Like, I would expect that this node... Let me see what Taz did here in his mod. I would expect that node in a component to be the joint 001 in Taz's mod. Let's see what Taz did. 0, 0, 1. This is the joint. So he's got a joint in here that he's put right on the middle. So similar theory. Hey, John Deere Farms, we're doing good. We're trying to fix a mower here and learn something about editing or modding in general. So not a normal stream today. We know nothing about how any of this works, so it's all new to me. All right, so let's see here. I think I need to line this up pretty straight with this joint. So let's do that. And maybe we're pivoting on the wrong axis. I don't think we are. It seems to work fine. It's just this wing gets thrown to the wind for some reason. We forgot to save that. We'll reload this one more time and see what it does with that joint moved. Okay, so the joint looks good, but the PTO seems to be in a really awkward spot right now. The wing seems to be in a decent spot. And if we try and start to fold, that is definitely not rotating in an appropriate manner. Like, I can see the node that it's trying to rotate on, and that part works correctly. I just don't know why it tries to destroy the whole mower deck when we do it. Let's maybe try and... maybe this was the problem. Why does this have a rotation limit and the others don't? Let's get rid of that for a minute. And let's see here. Let's see how that... Well, let's try one thing at a time here. It's a floppy wing. Why is it laying down now? Yeah, that's not folding. I don't know where that wing is going, but that wing is not right. All right, let's look at our animation here again, where we've got this at. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe we make this smaller and see what happens. F11, one more time. All right, our wing is on the ground here, but I can tell something's wrong because the PTO shaft, it looks like something's connected to the PTO shaft way up here in the middle of nowhere. Like, I don't know why it's up there. And so I expect the second I try to fold, it's just gonna get all twisted up here because the PTO shaft is trying to connect. So let me get rid of this PTO thing. Maybe that's what's messed up and causing all of our problems here. What is the PTO called? That's the question. We don't know. Mower. Somewhere in here we have the attachments for stuff like this. I've seen them. I just don't know what they're called. We've got components, we've got power consumer, wheels, attachable lights, connected hoses. It's probably, oh, those are the hydraulics. Power takeoffs, there we go. Let's just comment these two out for just a second. I bet that will make some parts of this a little bit easier for a moment. Hey, look at that. We're definitely pivoting on some weird angle here, though. All right. We're closer. It's no longer doing the thing with the PTO. I'm not sure why this wing is so much floppier than the other one. I mean, it's definitely lined up here correctly, but we're at a very extreme angle. Unfold. And then it goes the wrong way completely. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button here. Like, I don't know. See, now it's hanging down. Like, something's weird with the physics of this wing. might have the wrong rotation limit axis. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering right now. Like, it's lined up appropriately on this. Let's take a look at our XML again. This is the part that's a little bit confusing. Like, I don't actually know which way the arrows go. I should probably figure that out one time and then write down a key. If we look at our folding animation, though, we've got our component part here, rotation. Although, see, so I've got it at 40. If I bring this up to, 80, I bet when I reset this, it'll be up like the other wing. Reload. I wish I wouldn't change my camera. It's not up like the other wing. So, what happens if I set this to 0? I'm very confused by this right now. Jason Donnelly, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. We are trying to figure this out. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Ooh, we're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. All right, so maybe we have the wrong rotation limit. What happens if we move it over here? Reload. Whoop. That definitely did something very different. And just out of curiosity, what happens if I do it over here? Yeah, it's getting worse, not better, that's for sure. Something is not right there. All right. Component joint index 1. Let's go back up and look at this joint. Maybe I've messed something up here. Component 1. Maybe our center of mass is off. I don't know that should really matter. We're on component 1. Let's actually put some nodes in here. So our node is 1, 7. We're done with this 1, 7. We're done trying to track things down. So this is now where we're trying to spin. If I take a look at what Taz has here, he's got a joint 01. And he's doing the node on the joint. Oh, maybe that's what we're doing. Well, that's what we're doing now. So this is our joint node. Component 1, component 2. And he's got a rotation limit set on here. I think that's the floating part, though. Like, I don't think that this is going to be anything to do with how we're supposed to move things. So we'll set one on here because we're on a slightly different axis than this. This is got the green arrow going this way. And we've got green arrow going up. I think this is the right thing for us. Let's not try and fold it for a moment. I'm kind of curious if it flexes, if I can get to my hill here. Let's turn the wireframe off for a second so it doesn't lag us out. We're not flexing yet either. I need somewhere that has a cliff and less weeds. Here's a cliff. All right, let's see what this does. It's definitely not flexing for me yet. My chains are still So we know. And if I fold it up, what happens? Yeah, we're rotating the complete wrong way. Like, we went up and we spun. I don't know why we went up and we spun. Fascinating. All right. Back to the XML. I don't like all of this folding stuff in here that we don't know what it does. So I guess we should start tracking down what these are. Folding 0 through 7. Maybe we've just got some other weird parts that are doing stuff. Folding 0 through folding 7. Clone to other view. This will make life easier. So these are all being rotated at different points. So I'm going to pull this off to the side over here for 1 second, and we're going to look at what some of these nodes are. So the first node we have is 1, 0, 0, 0. Not that one. That's not node 1. Node 1 is 0, 0, 0. All right, so that's right. Yeah, so these are our cutter nodes. So we've got these blades underneath the mod, I'm guessing. If I can look, yeah, so we've got blades underneath the mod that are going to get moved. Oh, we've messed up our camera. There we go. So we know what these are, and then we have folding 2. What is folding 2? Is 1, 0. So that would be this, 1, 0. And folding 6 is the thing itself. Okay. So let me move my code screen back over here for a second. So this node here is getting rotated, and I don't think we want this node to be getting rotated. In fact, I don't think we want any of the folding nodes that are tied to my wing to be getting rotated. And so folding 6, folding 2, and folding 0, 0, and 0, 1 all need to have this stuff knock it off. Might also need to move the joint from the left wing into the main component. Yeah, maybe. Oh, Tyler, I missed your chat too. Can you copy the code from the right wing that works and just make it fold the right way? So that's a problem is that I'm trying to, the right wing is doing it, but it's not set up in a way that's going to allow it to flex as far as I know. So I'm trying to get rid of having a million of these folding parts here and have the component itself move. So I need to get rid of these, but Perma's got a really good point in that maybe the joint itself should be on the main component, which we could easily do because we have this transform right here. So we could pull this over here and use this as our joint instead. That would be node 08. See if I can get this lined up appropriately. Pull it up into here. Probably need it to come up. Oops. Just a smidge. And let's bring it forward a bit here. Something like that looks appropriate. I need to make sure it's not too low. It looks a little low. I don't know if there's an easier way to do this than what I'm doing. Let me know, but I think this is probably going to solve a problem. if your joints aren't zeroed on each other, it can cause issues. That's also a good point. So this is 008 for the transform we just tossed on there. Let me, whoops, we need to not do that. Too many windows open. If we come in here, I've gotten rid of these things that shouldn't be getting moved individually anymore. Let me just check this next section down here, folding 41. So folding 42 definitely shouldn't be here anymore. And what do we got down here? Holy buckets, we've got so many of these. Folding 76 through 103. All of those are for the other wing, which should be fine. Folding 104 and 105. Well, I don't know what 104 is, but 105 shouldn't be there anymore. So that's all part of the component that we're trying to move now. Let's see if this is going. Duplicate the joint, then middle mouse drag it to the main component is how you would go about it. Oh, so that they're in the exact same, or in the correct spot. Joint. Where did I leave the joint? Is it this transform? This was the transform. Edit, duplicate, and then middle mouse drag it into the main component. Let's see here. I want to put it right up there where that other thing is, but I've got not enough room to get there. Let's see if I can do it in 2 drags. So if I do it like this, it'll drop it in the bottom of that component, I think. Right here. And then what I'd really like to do is use this here, get rid of our old one. Like that. All right. Let's see how it goes. 2 hours to mow your lawn, but only an hour to string trim it. Listen, we're learning here. We gotta figure this out. If we can figure this out, then we can start actually making cool mods. It's always, well, maybe not always easier, but I don't have the modeling part down. But if I can figure out how to do the coding and in-gaming part, I might become motivated to start learning some modeling. So, we're going to reload this. We're gonna try and fold this up now. All right, so we broke our left wing's folding capabilities again. Fascinating. Now we're not trying to fold at all. So back to the XML. What did I change? We did comment out a few lines in the folding animation. Oh, we took out our rotation here because we thought that was causing problems, but it probably wasn't. One more time. Oh, it tried to move, but failed to finish. We don't have our PTOs hooked up right now. That collision over there that just kind of flops around bugs me. Do I have errors in my mod is a question. Unable to find power takeoff, that should be fine. I mean, set a clip distance, that's fine. Shouldn't be, at least there's no hard errors. Yeah, that's the problem, is there's like all these parts. I mean, it's crazy how many different little parts there are to move around on this mod. All right, well, we're getting somewhere, I guess. Why did this not? I preferred it when we were moving too much. Now we're not moving far enough at all, so go back in here and take a quick look at the things that we just commented out. Folding 2. Folding 6 got commented out. That's fine. Because those were the wings. Yeah, Jason, definitely. Like, I am not claiming to be a modder at this point, but I'm trying to learn. And, you know, I think that the one takeaway from this is having a lot of appreciation for what people go through to put this stuff together. I'm definitely in no way trying to say anything bad about the mod that I'm working on. I'm just using it as an example to learn. Lance, yeah, that's what we did. That's why I added this transform right here, is so that the order remains the same. So essentially, prior to me changing things, the reason why the right wing works and the left wing doesn't is this is how it was set up. So the right wing is still where it was originally, and before I added this transform, this is where the left wing used to be. And so what I want to do is pull the wing out of the main component and make it its own component, so that it can flex with the terrain and move. And so I've got the left wing out here now. I've got it set up as, I guess now that I'm full screen, I can put this back over here where I'm used to seeing it. Oh no, don't do that. Like this. There we go. We'll close this window out. We'll close this window out for now and make this a little bit bigger so I don't keep looking in the wrong spot. So I've pulled this wing out. I made it a rigid body, and set this up like so, which should allow it to flex. And now what I'm trying to do is get it hooked up with all the animations that it was in before. And so we replaced all the original nodes that were pointing here to, from the whatever the 0 path was, to a 1 path. And so we've got, I mean, things are working. It just isn't animating appropriately, because what we're trying to do is, instead of having it move every single part that was part of the main body, I'm trying to switch this over to just move the component. And so I think that this should be working, but it's obviously not. So what I want to do is I want to look at one more mod here that I had. And let me open this up here. I don't think this is right, actually. This was where the nodes were moving before. I don't think this is causing our issue, but this was down here. These are the old components that were in existence that were moving about. Let me look at the, I'm looking at the animation for another mod here. Where's my animations? So I've got the folding animations for this one. 41. Man, there's just a lot in here. This is all the right wing, so that makes sense to me. I think these all make sense. So it should just be this part down here that we need to fix. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Let's zero this out for a second. Maybe I need to be rotating it on this because we've changed it. Let me just set a random number here. Oh. This is one of those trial and error kind of things where I'm not sure I'm changing the right numbers. Like, we're definitely not seeing things happen in the game like we would expect. And because we switched to using the component-based method here instead of moving the parts, I would have expected that wing to come up, and it didn't. Oh, it tried to do something there. Like, the fact that it doesn't move at all is what concerns me. Maybe this is the wrong number. Like, I would expect it to be the ending animation, though, not the starting that I need to change. But maybe I'm just rotating on the wrong axis. Let's just try and work our way through these. Maybe that node isn't pointed the way that I think it should be. Lance, I could have used an actor and then might not needed to rearrange the mod so much. With the animation, do I have it set to the joint? Oh, that's a good question, Permas. Maybe I don't have the animation itself set to the appropriate node. That would be embarrassing. What am I working on here? Okay. Let me check that, because changing random numbers here doesn't seem to be working out for us. Aha! I don't think that looks right. Do I... No, the animation doesn't have a node on it. There's a... I have this set to the component joint index. This is the one that we're working on. I know that's right. But do I have the tool set up correctly? Is my other question. This is maybe not right. Folding 6. That might be part of the problem. This might need to be pointed to the joint, not to the module. So we just added this joint into the main component, which is node path 08. Oh, I've got another joint in here too. Well, so let's see, maybe this needs to be pointed to the actual joint rather than the item itself. What happens if I do this? Make it just start rotation and end rotation. Remove the limit at the end. You're adjusting the limit it can rotate to follow the terrain, not actually... Oh. You are absolutely correct. This is probably me copying and pasting something incorrectly. Well, let's try this one more time then with the 80 on here. Reload. Still not getting an animation on the right or on the left side here. Although, oh, I did change that other thing. I was monkeying around. What was the thing I just changed? That was down here. Let me put that back to where it was. Folding 06. F11, reload vehicle. It's, I can see that it's free to move in a way that it shouldn't now. It's like falling down, but it's not trying to fold up here the same way. I also don't know why both wings have the same wheel indices attached to them, but that's something else with the mod that was there before me. Is your node in your animation, your joint? This one right here, this part, the component joint index, this is the joint for my left wing right here. Am I missing a piece here? So there should be two parts you need to change. You should have the component joint thing and then an animation to rotate the joint itself. I have a component joint. Or I have a joint here. This is the joint. And you're saying I'm missing a node on the animation. Here. Okay. So that would need to be the node of the joint. I'm looking. So I need a node equals and bum 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 bum. I've got this one here too. I've got Taz's mod on the other monitor. I guess I never bothered to look back at that to make sure I wasn't missing core parts. So he's got the component joint here that doesn't have a node in it as well. Where did I lost my animation again? I've got too many windows open. Where did I just put the node equals? I put it on the wrong one anyway. So you're suggesting that I need to have a node defined in addition to the component joint right here? Because I've seen so many mods that don't have that at all. Do I have the Landau? I absolutely have the Landau handy. It's probably an old version of it, but it's in the save game here somewhere. Animations, animations. So the component joint lines don't have a node on them. So make the node the joint. So I think what I'm missing is just I'm not actually moving the wing itself. So you're like looking at the example from the Landau, it looks like I need to go ahead and have a separate one for just the node for the joint. So like rather than adding a node to this line, add a new line for the joint. Is that what we're saying? So if I add, we make this look the same, add an end time, add a rotation of 80, and I need to identify that joint again real quick. We are saying that joint was here, which is 0.8, like so, and done. No dice. Not a limit, but rather a rotation animation. Yeah, this is start and end rotation here. Right. Oh, and then these were rotation limits because I didn't want them to move after I fold them up or unfold them. I got it. That's what these were for originally. This makes more sense to me. Limit and limit. So this is more about the ability to flex after the animation, because before or after the animation I can set how much that joint is allowed to flex. This is actually going to rotate the joint itself, which makes more sense to me. The question being, which direction do I need to rotate this? So for these components, the starting rotation, I assume this is when they're unfolded. Let's say I want it to be able to flex up to 20 degrees. I know that's probably a bit much, but that should allow it to flex. This should be rotating. So let's make sure this matches my joint. So up here, see, I have this component set to 1.7. So if I make this the same joint that we just added, what did this just do? Yay, autocomplete. Now, component 1 and component 2 are going to be tied together by this node. I don't know that I need any rotation limit defined here yet. Let's just do this. That should be about flexing, so let's not worry about flex right now. This is my joint, and that should match my joint right here. And we should fold up to 80 degrees when we fold. Let's see. Fold. No dice still. That is unexpected. That is unexpected. Gotta get that flex on. Hey, how you doing, Meatball? We are definitely fumbling through this at the moment. I'm missing something. I'm trying to figure out, so we've got this node, which is 0, 8, which should be our joint. Oops. I meant to click on the Giants editor here. So we've got this joint here that we added. Now, we also have another joint that was actually in here that maybe we should have used instead. Left part 006 is what was being used for a joint previously. Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't expect this to be quite this hard. I've added flex to another implement before, but it didn't have nearly the components that I'm finding in this one. Let me just check this. So I'm kind of in the background, I'm comparing to a different mod that I actually had working. And the only things I had to change for that were a handful of spots, so. Components. Component 1 is the main body, component 2 is the left wing, and then this should be our joint node. Well, I'm just going to double check that that's our joint node. We should fold it up. Moving tool. Oh, so then also the moving tool section we haven't checked, but I would expect this node to also be the same thing. You're not missing much. We're definitely struggling here, Lane. I am trying slowly to teach myself more and more about how implements and such work in Giants Editor here. And I will say somewhat unsuccessfully. Oh wait, it works! It worked! Look at that. I mean, there's some broken parts with the hydraulics and stuff. Hey! I think it was that moving tool was on some random node rather than what needs to be done here. Now, I like that the right wing starts moving up right away. My left wing takes a while. I'm going to have to look at that. This is probably because I just don't have it set to the same value. So what are we at? We're at 1 hour and 40 minutes, and I made a thing move in Giants Editor. I'm not going to start modding anytime soon. Okay, so the question is, so let's ignore the fact that I have some wonkiness now with my folding animation. Let's get rid of all these annoying lines now that this is working. Hey, the chains are still moving. That's good. Hey, look at that. It flexes. My hydraulics go right through the deck, but that's probably just me needing to adjust some nodes somewhere. But we have a left flexing wing, so 1 hour and 40 minutes, and we've gotten halfway there, I'll say, since the mod is still very, very broken. But I am impressed that it's flexing. And so if we come back in here, let's try and understand what we did now. We've got a component here. This is our main body. This is our left wing. And then we added a joint. And this is the main body is component 1. Component 2 is our left wing. And then this node is the joint for that, where it's going to pivot on. And then if we come down here a ways, let me grab this node and look at the next place we called this. So inside of our folding animation, I'm going to leave all this commented out, as annoying as it is. So we have a folding animation. We are now taking that joint and we're rotating it. And then we're taking, why do I start at 4? Let's do something like this. Or actually, let me look and see what the other things we're doing. All this was going from 1.5 to 6 before. So let's match up with where everything else is moving. 1.5 to 6. 1.5 to 6. And so then we fold the joint, or we rotate the joint from 0 to 80. It looks like the other one was at 88 before. I don't know that it matters that much, but we can do 88. I'm not going to do the decimal spots. Doesn't matter that much. And then for our component joint, all we're saying is that when it's folded up, it should not be allowed to rotate. When it's folded down, it can rotate up to 20 degrees, which may or may not be too much, but we can definitely play around with that. Cool. So in theory, I could do the same thing to the right wing, but maybe I should finish getting the left wing to work appropriately here. So I have the PTOs turned off, and I have these hydraulics that, in theory, I assume there's some kind of a node where they're supposed to be hooked up here. We're taking out the signs. So I assume there's some node where these hydraulics should be hooked up to there, and the PTO needs to get hooked up to the right node again. And so probably wouldn't matter the time they have for their animation. Yeah, I suspect that as we fold everything up, like the chains all move, and as do the mowing blades and stuff, I think all get put into a specific spot. We obviously forgot to save/reload after we made that change to how far up the wing folds, but that's okay. Let's see if I can figure out why my hydraulic arms aren't hooked up and how to put the PTOs back on. So first thing, the PTOs, we just commented those out previously because we thought that they were causing issues. They probably weren't. So let's put these back, and then I just want to look and see what these are. So lovely names here, local 1, local 3. Let's actually look over here so I can look at both things at the same time. Local 1 and local 3. So local 3 is node 110, local 1 is node 040. So 110 should be on our left wing. If we collapse all this back up, 1.8, 110, PTO end. So I would expect if I just enable this, that it's going to start working again. So let's try that out real quick. Maybe we'll get lucky and this is not as hard as it seems like it could have been. So now I've got a PTO enabled again here. If I fold this down, my wing is still folding pretty slow. Hey, all my hydraulics are working as well. I broke a chain over here, but that's on the wing that I haven't touched yet, so that's actually kind of fascinating. I probably just got rid of a animation. Cool. That's all working when I fold and unfold. But it's not moving when the wing flexes. So that's interesting. Parker Ellis, welcome to the stream. We are rambling to ourselves in front of an audience today. This is how modding goes, at least for me. It's a lot of troubleshooting, trial and error, but I'm coming out of this actually understanding a little bit about how this mod works. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that there's 2 different sets of chains on my left wing here. One of them is moving, one of them is not, so I wonder if there's something that got enabled that shouldn't be turned on right now. The chain on the left doesn't move when packing it up. Yeah, exactly. But why am I showing both of them right now is what I want to know. So let me see if I can find the chains. I've got... I should have some chains here somewhere. Maybe if I just move through here. So on the left axle, chains component. It's in this transform. Ooh, they're individual. That's cool. Okay, so let me see this. Let me see if I can find where this node is referenced. All right, folding 105 through... This is where they're coming from. So where do I use folding 105? I've commented out folding 105. And probably folding 106 through whatever. So all of these are probably the chains that I got rid of. I'm just thinking... Node for the PTO is set to the main component instead of in the wing. The PTO is working though, right? Well, I'm doing too many things at once, but... Oh no, the PTO is also not moving. So the PTO... Yeah, all the PTO and the side things are all not animated with the component. Which is interesting because, or maybe it's because I don't have the components as dependents in the moving part. So moving tools, I have the joint, I have the component joint index, and then I have these dependent parts. I also have a powered takeoff as local indice 1. And so that would be this one. And these two nodes are correct. Excuse me, these two nodes are correct. Because it does connect initially. I think it's just that it's not currently moving. So I wonder if I need to set a dependent part for the node, the PTO node. Let me come back out here. This PTO end is 110. I wonder if I set one for this local 3 in the moving tool as a dependent part, if that would work. Dependent part node equals. Let's try that real quick. At least then I'll know how to potentially fix some things before we start monkeying with the rest of them. That does not appear to have the desired effect. I would assume you're able to have the connections be animated. It's got the power takeoff listed in the moving tools section. Hey, Jackson Modding, welcome to the stream. We are stumbling through things here still. What I don't know is why my left wing has all of these other components tied to it. So it's 00 through 04. So maybe I need to go look and see what these parts are in the Giants editor. So 0, 0, 10. All right, so that's the cylinder and the other cylinder here. So those are both being listed as dependent parts. I'm kind of wondering if those would need to be moved to the wing instead of the main body is the problem. 014 is the other wing. I don't know why that one's on here at all. 15 is the back. 16 is the triangle. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff in here that doesn't need to be in here. So all of these should not be part of my left wing dependent parts. The anchor actor is node 0. I wonder if this should have, instead of being node 0, be node 1, because it's the wing. I wonder what happens if I do that. Seems like a horrible idea to just randomly change things. All right, everything works fine when we fold it and when we unfold it. It's only the whole rotation part that seems to have a problem. So they're just not staying connected automatically as part of the rotation. Interesting. How to make those connected parts animate, like stay animated or stay connected. I don't even know if that's possible. I would expect the PTOs to be able to handle that. Let's see if I can look at what Taz had done in his mod. We're in the moving tools section. So we've got, is active dirty true? That seems like an interesting flag. What does that do? In coding language, using something that's dirty means usually that you're using it in flight, not just between like something that happens consistently. I'm wondering if I add something like that to this dependent part, maybe this dependent part, it'll actually work. I don't know which of these it's able to go on, but let's just add this in here and see what happens. I'm sure this has some kind of horrible performance effects. Godly Devil, thanks for swinging by, man. Well, that didn't really seem to do a whole lot of anything. So let's not leave any of that in there. Although that's in the moving parts section, not the moving tools section, so maybe it's not even here that maybe I'm in the wrong spot of this XML file altogether. Moving parts. Why is everything just called moving tool, moving part? Give it a real name. So let's see if we can figure these out. So moving part. Oh, we've got it right here. So where is moving part 4? So moving tool 2, moving tool 2, reference point, moving part 4. Moving part 4. So moving tool 2 is 014. What is 014? 014 is cylinder 1, which is on the back. So I have no idea why something on the back would be referencing something on the wing. So I think that a lot of these nodes are not set up correctly. Let's move down the list here some more. We've got moving tool 00. Not us. Moving part 7. Not us. Dependent part moving tool 7. Not us. This is this XML is just a little bit of a mess. Jacob, welcome to the stream. We are modding today, or trying to mod. We're almost there. We have successfully got the left wing flexing on this HX20. Now I'm just trying to figure out why the cylinders and stuff don't also move. We're almost to the bottom of the mystery, I feel like. And so I'm just trying to figure out what all these moving tools are. Moving tool 5. I need to look at this. I need to remember what our node is. I'm looking at the left. I'm looking for either 10 or 12. Or the PTO 10 or 12, or PTO left would be... Well, let's just look for 10 or 12. We're trying to do too many things. Nodes 010 and 012. So I think it's 010. We've already forgotten. My goodness. 010. Where's my main component? PTO left. Cylinder 2. 010. Node 0010. So I'm looking for moving part 2 in all of this mess. Or moving part 7, or... All right, so we've got this one up here is one of my moving things, and it's tied to moving tool 4, which makes 0 sense to me. So we're definitely confused here. Moving tool 4 is tied to node 016. Like, what is node 016? Oh, it's the hose. That actually does make sense. Okay, so we've got part 4. We've got part 00, which is my cylinder, with a dependent part of part 4. Our indentation is all horrible here, which makes it really hard to read. There we go. Translating part is moving part 7. So what is node 13? Maybe that will, whoops, maybe that will shed some light. Node 13. O13. I don't know why node 13 would be tied to this one, but tool 4. Okay, so I think what's happening here is we possibly need to add this flag here into some of these to be able to be animated on the fly. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna add it to all of them real quick just to save me the trouble of figuring out which node is which. We're going to reset this, and look at that. It animates sort of kind of. The cylinder is good. I haven't fixed the PTO yet. Okay, so we now have animated cylinder and hoses, it looks like. One thing at a time. The irony of this is we're gonna spend 2 hours, 2.5 hours fixing all this, and if I make a video out of it, it'll probably be about 10 minutes long. Be like, oh yeah, just do X, Y, and Z, it's a piece of cake. How you guys doing? Sorry, I'm ignoring chat just a little. It's the coding thing is fascinating to try and keep tabs on all of this while we're going. But we've figured this out, and that's going to bring us one step closer, I think, to being able to start creating some mods ourselves here at some point. My goal is to get my feet under me enough to be able to get into modding when 22 comes out. So with that said, though, we need to figure out how to move the PTO component here. That's our last kind of piece that's missing, I think, on this left wing, and then it's just going to be a copy and paste to get the right wing working. And so we had the PTO up here. I had added this dependent part local 03. I don't know that that's actually necessary coming to think of it. So I'm going to comment that out for a second, and we're going to come down here where I think we were at. So moving tool 4, I think we're pretty positive that was the left wing, right? So let's just double check so I add this to the right spot. Moving tool 4 is 016, and 016 is left hose, so we're in the right spot. All right, let's see here. So this is our animated or our moving parts on the left wing. And so if I add a dependent part node equals local 3, maybe this is gonna work. Reef, how you doing? Ethan, welcome back. We've got it working. We're doing a little bit of testing here. The last piece that I haven't sorted is why my PTO doesn't bend with the wing. And so I've got the hydraulics and the hoses and all of that moving. I just have to figure out how to get this left PTO node to move up and down when we flex our wing. And then I've got a little bit of cleanup to do to get the right wing copied and pasted into place. So we're trying to add the node for the PTO here, but that didn't work. Let me come back over here to the mod that we've got going. I'm just wondering if, I know up here in my moving tools, I put the powered takeoff in here. I wonder if I can just add this down here instead. I don't think this is supposed to go down here, but sometimes when you don't know what you're doing, it's easier to just try it and see if it blows up or not. So let's flex this. Is that bending? Hey, my PTO is moving. My PTO is moving. We did it, folks. All right. All right, so everything on the left wing is pretty much working now. So we're going to, I'm going to remove this because I think this node was unnecessary. We're going to double check that, and then we're going to finish the right wing and call ourselves a success. Yep, still bending without that unnecessary dependent node. All right, we've got to clean this up. I got to remove a couple of things and we're done. So so let's see if we've actually successfully done this. And I can repeat it in a lot less time. So where are we at? We're at 2 hours and 5 minutes into the stream. Let's see if I can make the second wing go very quickly here. First thing we need to do, Brian, am I going to release this when I'm done? I might drop it onto the Discord server. It's an edit. I'd want to I'd want to, you know, reach out to Black Sheep Modding and see if they're okay with that first. In fact, I might just reach out to them and see if they want to update the mod on the mod hub. If they approve of my hack job that I've done on their beautiful mod. Because I'd really rather support them. I'm just trying to learn how things work here, not necessarily start releasing mods per se, but we'll definitely think about it. We're gonna grab this right component now. So first, okay, so we're gonna grab this right component and I'm gonna drag this down here right under my left component. We're gonna delete this unnecessary component so everything stays in the same order. And then this transform came from somewhere, but we're not even using it anymore, if I recall. Let me just make sure that's the case. O-8. We're not even using this transform for anything, so it really doesn't matter anymore. So I'm going to click on it, and then we're going to go up to Edit and do Duplicate. And I'm going to drag this one right up here so that I don't have any change in my indexes in the mod. And now I've got my left and my right. So on my right, I've got some things I have to do to the right. The first thing I need to do is make this a rigid body. We're going to make it dynamic, this compound, and then I think the collision mask I copied and pasted from some other mod here was this. Double check that those look the same. They do. Did I not save that? Let's do that. Perfect. Double check that that actually saved this time. Okay. There we go. All right, so now we've got both wings are in place. What are all the other things I did were in the XML, I believe. So now we're looking down to the next one. So we've got this. So 006 was the joint node that I was using for the left. I assume that it's going to be 007 for the right. So 007. Get rid of all this auto complete stuff. Let's take this. I'm curious where else we've got a 006. All right, so we've got this part node that needed to be rotated. So we're gonna take that and add it for the new joint. And I believe this probably just needs to be the opposite angle. And then for component joint 2, we're gonna do the same thing, 1.5, 6, boom, done. Where else did we reference that, oops, joint down here? So just like this, we need to do one of these. We have our component joint. We've got a bunch of stuff in here that I don't actually know what it's for. We could probably clean, whoops. My goodness. This I gotta figure out how to turn off my autocomplete. Only thing with components is the component object should be a simple shape for the collision, as using a visual mesh for it can cause some issues. The component object should be a simple shape. Oh, well, but for that, we would need to actually go and really change everything around, I would think. It probably won't perform very well, I think is what you're saying. If we come into here, because this is more complicated than the nodes that we deleted. We could probably have left those nodes in there and then nested this below, but then I would have to update all of the nodes in the entire left wing here, I think, in the XML, which might be simpler once we comment the rest of this stuff off. So that might be the more optimized way to do it. But this should, quote unquote, work, I would think. We're about to find out. Then the only other part that I kind of need to do is add this power takeoff to where we've got these animations, and then I need to fix the actual moving tools. So I've got this part done, and now we need the moving parts. So I got to figure out where my cylinders are for the right hand side now, which should be here. So 0011, if I can figure out where that is. 0011 moving tool 5. So it looks like down here. And index 2. Boom. All right. I'm hopeful this is going to work here when we reload it. We've still got an issue with chains that I've got to go sort out here in a second. But it looks like both wings are folding. And we know the left wing flexes. Let's make sure it still flexes. It does. Now let's go see if I can get the right wing to flex. And then all we have to do is fix some of these chains. Oh no, the right wing is still not flexing. And I know why. I know why. We didn't save in Giant's Editor. I bet that's what we didn't do. Reload. Hey, it's flexing. I didn't get all the right nodes and the chains are messed up over here, but we've got some flex. We're missing a tire too. Interesting, interesting. So the right wing, the flexing part works, but we're missing some tires. How is that possible? We didn't change anything with tires. Oh, we moved everything and we forgot to update the nodes. All right, so we are now at 2 when we used to be at 09. Here we go. Find in files. We're looking for 09. And actually we're looking for 09 bar is now going to be 2. Replace all. 09 is going to be 2. There we go. This will help a lot, I'm sure. F11. Reload. It always helps when you hook your XML up to the right nodes in the mod. It looks like that wing is flexing. It looks like my PTO is moving. My hydraulics are all moving. My chains are all swinging and swaying. So I guess let's go back up here and see if it actually mows grass. That would be unfortunate if somehow we managed to break core functionality doing all this. And so we'll turn it on here. We'll lower it down. Hey, we've got grass cutting. Everything's animating, I think. It looks like the PTOs are shaking. The chains are still there and moving. I've got 2 sets of chains. I think I've done something wrong with the unanimated version of the chains when you fold it up. So we might have to check that here still. Oh no. Oh no, the right wing is folding at a wonky angle. We might have to double check that we've got the rotations correct. We didn't fix the right wing being a rotation limit versus a rotation probably. I had some of those messed up from the previous copy and paste. These look correct. Those are all correct. Let's go up here to the top. These are correct. Yeah, perm is almost there, almost there. If I hadn't bothered to fold it up, I could have pretended that we had it all working here. Okay. We're gonna just walk through all of the components. So that was the one area. And then we've got the folding. Oh, we still got a bunch of folding stuff in here. No wonder. Whoopsie. Let's go ahead and zap all of this garbage now, because we don't need to be folding the individual components anymore. Should make scrolling through this file a little bit easier. We were folding, these are my chains that I just got rid of as well. These are the visibilities. Oh, these are visibility items. They're not even actually changing the rotation. That's why my chains were goofed up, because I commented these lines out for the left side. So let's leave all the visibility items going. We got rid of the bad folding items that we don't need anymore. And the only ones still rotating things are these here. So let's take a quick look and see what these are. We've got folding 3. Seems like I don't want to be folding anything that's part of the wing at this point. Folding 4, folding 5. What is folding 7? Folding 7 is the node itself. We don't need that anymore. So now I have visibility items for the chains, I assume. I hope. Let's see if that works better. F11. All right. And we went down. We've got only one set of chains that actually move now. That looks good. It still mows. We turn it off. We lift it up. We fold it up. Chunk, 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 chunk. And we're good to go. And now the chains don't move while we're driving. Sweet. I'll take it. All right. So, 2 hours and 20 minutes into the stream here, and we have successfully converted this HX20 over to have flexing wings when we're mowing. So, turned out to be a bit more of a learning experience than I thought, but we've learned something, which is awesome. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a little bit painful trying to stumble through things. A little bit different style of a live stream than we've done normally, but I thought it would be fun just to try something new out. And we'll probably do these more as videos in the future, but I do appreciate all the help that we got from members of the modding community today. It was great having so many people in, catching some of my errors here. So stay tuned for more modding tutorial style videos. I'll definitely do a better job of doing some investigation and then explaining how things work and putting that into a video format, I think, in the future. But I do like doing some of this stuff live. It's fun hanging out with people, and I figure as long as I'm sitting here stumbling through it, if people want to come and hang out with me, more power to you. So, and as far as releasing this mod out on the Discord or not, I am going to try and get a hold of Black Sheep Modding and just ping them and see if they're okay with me tossing an edit out up there on the Discord here first and see how it goes. Mason, make a lizard Duramax. I can barely get things to move up and down when I fold them. I don't think I'm quite ready to build a whole truck yet. But hopefully we'll get there. What I want to do is make a rock picker for Thundar's new Rocky Fields mod. It'd be fun to have a little rock picker with the animated rotation and scoop up the rocks as you go through the field. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So maybe I'll see if I can find somebody to help me with some of the modeling aspects of that, and we can figure out how to get it in game on a live stream or something. Either way, today was a lot of fun. I'm gonna jump off here for a bit this afternoon, and we'll be back at 9 p.m. tonight to do some more live streaming, probably playing on one of the multiplayer servers with the members again. It's been a lot of fun to hang out with the members and play some farm sims. So if you're looking for some actual farming, dial back in. Tuesday and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. are always going to be farming streams on the channel here. So thanks for coming out, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. That's all for today. Kedirk out.